Hanging by limb and tail from a high branch, it is easy to see the black spidery shape that prompted the forest Indians to give the monkey its name. Spider monkeys spend their whole lives high up in the rainforest canopy eating fruit. But as with everything here, it is not that simple. Their prehensile tail is the longest in the world. By curling the tip of that muscular tail around a branch, they have their hands free to reach for fruits or play with one another. Their bodies are covered in thick black fur, which may seem odd for an animal that lives in such hot and humid climes. But the night air in the canopy can be cold, especially when it is raining. Like all monkeys, they take great care to keep their coat in good condition. Every plant in their forest must ensure that at least one or two of its seeds grow to maturity. But they have to combat an army of predators. The Lecania tree attracts the spider monkey by producing an irresistible pulp. But in this case, the monkey does not swallow the seed. It is much too big for it. They drop the seed to the forest floor, and it is here that another creature will ensure the Lecania tree's future. The acuchi moves through the forest using a special scent gland to mark its route. A dainty wiggle leaves an invisible message that will lead it back to food it found earlier. It does eat and destroy many seeds, but even in this seemingly rich forest, there are times coming soon when life will be a daily struggle to survive. The seed is planted at the perfect depth for it to germinate. It covers its tracks well. It buries so many that when it eventually returns to dig them up, some will already have begun to grow. As the spider monkeys feed on the Lecania fruits, their droppings also fall onto the leaf litter below. These contain seeds from other fruits that they have eaten earlier in the day. The droppings are a good source of free fertilizer for the seed. But another creature here with eccentric dining habits has other intentions. Within minutes of the monkey droppings hitting the ground, a horned dung beetle homes in on the smell and bit by bit drags the entire heap into a freshly dug chamber underground. The seeds are buried along with the dung, but the beetle only feasts on the feces. The seed will remain underground and have a better chance to germinate away from the jaws of predators. Many of our familiar foods originally come from the rainforest. Chocolate is made from the seeds of the cacao tree. Wild cacao produces fruits in the lower forest layer. One monkey that cannot resist it is Gray's sake, seed predator and #1 enemy of many trees. The pod grows directly off the main trunk of the tree, making it easier for some animals to reach. The sake's teeth are especially adapted for biting open hard fruit husks. They prefer their seeds young and fresh. This one must be too ripe for it. Seed predators such as squirrels and the sakis are as important as the dispersers in the overall strategy of the forest. By limiting the number of seeds from each tree that germinate, they prevent too many seedlings from competing for limited food and light in the poor rainforest soil. Some trees protect their crop by producing husks strong enough to prevent predators from getting through to the seeds. The tree best known in Amazonia for doing this is the Brazil nut. The mahogany tree too uses the same strategy, but they do not rely upon animals to disperse them. The pods are very tough. It is the wind that will eventually carry their winged seeds away from the parent tree. The Brazil nut's 2-kilo pod falls from 40 to 50 meters, and they have been known to kill people. The thud of the husks hitting the floor attracts the only animal really capable of opening it. The agouti is a timid and cautious creature. There are predators in this forest other than those that eat seeds, and a 3-kilo agouti would make a good meal. After peeling the soft outer layer, it delicately pares away the hard wood. Even with its chisel-like teeth, it takes this rodent up to 20 minutes to get through to the 18 or so seeds inside. The nuts are the very same that many of us struggle with every year at Christmas. But with those teeth, the agouti shells them as easily as we do garden peas. After eating one, the agouti will take those left inside the husk, one by one, up to 400 meters away, and store them for the hard times that are just around the corner. Like its cousin the akuchi, it will not retrieve all of them, and those that remain buried will eventually repopulate this area of forest with Brazil nut trees. Spider monkeys have a maximum home range of about 1,000 hectares. A dominant female heads the small party on their foraging trips through the forest. The babies are born at the beginning of the wet season and will be nursed by the mother until they are 3 years of age. The youngster won't leave her back permanently until it is 1.5 years old, and during this time it learns to feed by example. Spider monkeys specialize in eating the fruits of many big, valuable timber trees. To avoid predation, the seeds must germinate quickly, and they cannot unless the outer layer of the seed has been softened. Only by passing through the spider monkey's digestive system will this happen. All the fruits that spider monkeys alone disperse have to be split open by their teeth. But some plants employ a very different strategy to attract potential seed dispersers. When their seeds are mature, the tree advertises the fact by opening the fruit to reveal appetizing colors, sometimes with startling effect. Some birds, like Spix's guan, are attracted by the edible seed coating, but to eat it, they have to swallow the seed as well. The bird will regurgitate the seed later and far away from the parent plant, an important factor if a forest is to remain diverse and healthy. A bird built to fly a beak is a fair description of the toucan, and, like the spider monkey, it is a very important seed disperser. The toucan swallows the whole fruit, and later, far away from where it picked it, the seed will be regurgitated. The huge beak may look clumsy, but it is actually a precision instrument. It allows the bird delicately to pick at fruits on the extremities of branches that a smaller beak could not reach. Plants like this clusia have an added problem. They are epiphytes, living high in the canopy, using the branches of other trees for support, so their seeds need to be scattered high up in the trees. The clusia seeds are coated with a sticky substance, and when they are deposited in bird droppings on a branch, they are glued on. The toucan's feeding session is brought to an abrupt halt by the arrival of the spider monkeys. Clearly visible in its droppings are the small seeds of an epiphyte. Fruits opening to advertise they are mature is one way to lure animals to take them, but one tree has evolved a more cunning method. Ormosia produces a seed that looks succulent, but in fact it is as hard as iron and quite inedible. So how does it germinate? Trumpeter birds scour the leaf litter for insects and grind up their prey in their gizzards. There is no grit in the rainforest, and it has only recently been discovered that trumpeter birds use Ormosia seeds as substitute grit to break down hard insect matter in their crops. By this process, the seed's outer layer is worn away. When the bird eventually passes them out, they germinate quickly in the leaf litter. The colorful Ormosia seed wants to be seen, but there are some creatures who don't. It may be the most poisonous snake in the forest, but the fer de lance has made a grave error by showing itself to the trumpeters. These birds are snake killers. In just a few minutes, the deadly fer de lance has been pecked to death. Some trees and lianas can be just as lethal as a bite from a fer de lance. The strychnos liana has a fruit that is heavily charged with strychnine. The poison is only present in the seeds when the fruits reach maturity. The spider monkeys are close to the fruiting strychnos crown, and one of the youngsters is beginning to spend short periods away from her mother.
One of the most intelligent of these monkeys happens to be a close relative of ours. These are the amazing orangutans. You might think these friendly-looking cute ones got their name from their orange color. But the word orangutan comes from the Malay word meaning person of the forest. And they are a lot like persons. Orangutans grow to be about the same size as a human, about 5 feet tall. But they tend to look a little goofy because their arms are really long. From fingertip to fingertip spans about 7 feet. When they stand up straight, their arms almost drag on the ground. Imagine if your arms were that long. Pretty weird. But if you lived in the trees of the rainforest, you'd be thankful to have arms like theirs. And orangutans spend 90% of their lives hanging around in trees. Orangutans like being by themselves much more than other apes, or people. Males especially are real loners. While dad orangutans like to be alone, moms and their babies stay together for 6 or 7 years, so that she knows her baby is prepared to head out on their own. Female orangutans give birth only once every 8 years, the longest time period of any animal. Two of the largest primates in Borneo are orangutans and us humans. And in some places, these monkeys and people live really close together. Orangutans watch and learn our habits, and they copy what we do. They seem to respect us, even though they probably think that we're really ugly and weird looking. This washing isn't a trick that we taught them. They completely picked this up on their own. Olivia is watching secretly from the bushes as a worker approaches this storage shed. She's noticed that people keep coming and going from here all the time. It must be an important place. Olivia is very curious and decides to investigate. Well, look at that. A pile of fresh bananas. Jackpot. Orangutans eat tree bark, insects, and occasionally meat, but they really love bananas. Olivia's been watching this place carefully almost every day. And orangutans share 97% of their DNA with humans. In other words, they're really smart. Olivia has a pretty good idea of what she needs to do to get her hands on these yummy treats. She gets how to use tools, and figuring out the mechanism to open the door is a piece of cake. Olivia checks out the cardboard boxes to see if these humans have left any other treasures. No luck there. But the bananas are a big score. Picnic time for this cute one. The snow-covered mountains of Japan rise well over 3,000 meters into the sky. And it can get brutally cold up here, regularly dropping to below -10 degrees Celsius. It's not exactly what we think of as the ideal spot for monkeys to live. Most like tropical areas. But these adorable Japanese macaques are better known as snow monkeys, and they happily call these icy peaks home. Pretty cute face on these guys, but it sure does look cold. To survive up here and to combat the freezing temperatures, these clever cute ones have all kinds of tricks. Throughout these rugged mountains, there are natural hot springs called onsen. The snow monkeys are skilled at locating these natural onsen, and they definitely know how to kick back and relax in the baths. It's said they learned this behavior from watching humans unwind in the hot springs. Looks like these macaques have learned the lesson well. And they're enjoying a nice spa day, just like humans. But not all of the snow monkeys have the luxury of a hot bath. Some live in more extreme conditions. and need to literally dig through the snow to find their dinner. One finds a spot with some tree bark and winter buds. Not exactly a feast, but food is scarce these days. Others get wind of the food and soon join their friend. But not everybody is so concerned about food. This baby macaque was trying to clumsily get back on the ground when he discovers a very fun activity. And when the other youngsters see it, they rush to join the fun. Let the adults worry about gathering food. This is a blast. But when night falls and the temperatures plummet, the highly intelligent snow monkeys find a solution. Just like humans, they've learned that cuddling helps keep them warm. Our special thermal camera clearly shows that things are heating up between these cute ones. With sunrise comes more snow, and our cuddling snow monkeys continue to hug each other. It's an adorable scene. Hopefully the bright sun will warm them up. They don't look very happy right now, and you can't blame them. It's really cold. These hardy snow monkeys have earned the right for springtime to come soon. They sure could use the break. Thousands of miles away, in the dense rainforests of Central America, spring means beautiful waterfalls and fast-running mountain springs. This is home to one of the world's best-known monkeys, the white-headed capuchin. You might recognize this primate as the typical companion to the organ grinder. This extra cute one lives in troops that can exceed 20 monkeys. That includes both males and females. Life is simpler here. The weather is warm and the food is everywhere. But living here brings entirely different kinds of challenges. Capuchins are some of the most intelligent monkeys on Earth, and it's a good thing. He's got a problem to solve. It's lunchtime. This forest runs up to the beach. And the monkey has gotten his hands on a clam. And those hands sure look like yours and mine. Capuchins have mastered the use of tools, and this clever cute one tries to smash open the clam by slamming it into the tree. Very smart. He tries, and tries again. He's very intense about this task, and he starts to get a little frustrated. This is uncharted territory. What gives with this thing? There's got to be a way to bust it open. Maybe if I try another branch. Maybe hitting it faster. Maybe one of those human tools I've seen. Okay, now I'm getting that. The white-headed capuchin is fast becoming a hot-headed capuchin. The monkeys on the ground are tired of listening to this and scream at him to stop with the racket already. This just makes him more angry. wait, I feel something. Eureka! Wow, this was worth the trouble. It's delicious. The hot-headed capuchin is full and clearly very self-satisfied. Problem solved. I'm a very happy cute one. New Delhi, India is the urban district of Delhi, the capital of the country. This densely populated city is home to over 20 million people. This concrete jungle is also shared with more than 30,000 rhesus macaques. Like this mom and her very cute baby. Many people feed these monkeys on Tuesdays and Thursdays, days associated with the monkey-faced Hindu god Hanuman. They feel it's a tribute to the god. City life offers unique challenges for the monkeys learning to survive here. And it's not great for the people either. The rhesus macaques of Delhi are naughty mischief makers. They know how to be thieves stealing food, alcohol, glasses, and clothes. They even break into cars. There's a busy farmer's market nearby, and this monkey, who just stole someone's glasses, is spying on the market. It looks like there are plenty of delectable-looking items to snatch. But he's not alone. There's actually a gang of determined hungry primates with their eyes on the shopping stalls. These criminals know their hood very well. They often stealthily operate on secret paths and catwalks above the heads of the unsuspecting humans. They skillfully move into position above the marketplace. They cleverly decide to use the rush hour chaos as a diversion, so they can swoop in for some snacks. Each monkey has their own favorite target. For these little hooligans, the entire city is basically one giant playground. Quite a high wire act. I hope they don't get shot. You can see why many people don't find the monkeys very cute. These troublesome monkeys also make raids on civilian homes, stealing literally anything they can get their little hands on. One monkey searches for an empty house and then tries to break in. If all checks out, the rest of the gang heads in. It would be pretty scary coming home and finding this monkey business going on. Just like a human heist, they stripped the place clean, leaving only bare walls behind. And just like with humans, there's always one who needs to return for that last piece of treasure that got left behind. The Indian climate is blazing hot. After all that monkey business in the city, it's time for a lazy afternoon. But the heat is unbearable. What to do about it? For the answer, the macaques think about what they've seen the humans do. The monkeys watch carefully and learn. Before long, it's party time. A pool party keeps the gang cool. And just like human parties, there's always that one guy with the really insane idea. Those belly flops have to hurt. I don't think these dives are getting any perfect scores at the Olympics. Very soon, it turns into a crazy evening and a long, wild party for the cute ones of the city. Rhesus macaques are awfully cute, but they have a knack for creating mayhem wherever they go. At religious temples in India, they hang out at tourist entrances and wait for their right moment to strike. They steal food and jewels that are left as offerings on the altars and around the ceremonial bells. No place is safe on the sacred temple grounds. The pesky macaques even keep a close eye on pedestrian bridges. Plenty of prime targets down there. They're always on the lookout for a way to beg, borrow, or steal. At least until some giant beast spoils the action. That cow is not to be messed with. And it's not just in the cities. In farm country, the monkeys destroy crops without any conscience. This farm has hired a special monkey impersonator to imitate the calls of a langur monkey, a natural enemy of the macaques. The monkey wrangler makes his frightening screams and throws stones to drive the macaques off the land. These determined cute ones don't scare easily.
It's the morning after the operation and Keeper Jeremy is helping Charlie round from his anaesthetic. Jeremy has known Charlie for 7 years, and if anyone can nurse Charlie back to health, it's him.
Jeremy emotionally, he's got a lot invested in Charlie. You know, it's a long time, a lot of effort. Charlie arrived here some 6 years ago. And, you know, when he arrived, he was in pretty bad shape. He had, you know, multiple fractures to the skull. He had broken bones in his foot. And Charlie had never been around another chimp before. Charlie looks to Jeremy for help. Jeremy's there to respond. You know, these two have a lot invested in each other, and it's important, and it matters when you put the time and effort and heartbreak into you know, either your own child or Charlie, the chimp. It matters when it goes badly wrong.
look. My hand. Hang on. There you go.
While Jeremy comforts Charlie, Jimmy, the accused culprit of the attack, is awaiting his fate. He's been isolated from the big group. The plan is to put Jimmy in another enclosure with a separate all-male gang of troublemakers later today. This bachelor group is made up of chimps who, for one reason or another, didn't quite fit in anywhere else in the park. It's hard for park owners Jim and Alison to know how someone like Jimmy will cope with this ragtag mob. They've been rescued from beach photographers and the illegal pet trade. And as an all-male gang, their behavior can be pretty rough. Over the fence, in the big group, it's corn on the cob for breakfast. The chimps like the leaves as well as the corn itself. The mighty Paddy, on the right, tucks into the corn cobs with an old friend. When there's a treat like this for breakfast, little upstarts like Gamba are pushed out of the way by the grown-ups. Gamba suddenly sees his chance and cheekily grabs some corn from right under Big Paddy's nose. Paddy's furious, but this time Gamba gets away with it. Paddy simply signals his displeasure. Next time, cheeky Gamba may not be so lucky. Amy and Banji, the orangutans, continue to have marital problems. Banji's cold is slightly better, but he's still depressed and hasn't moved for days. Pregnant Amy just ignores him. She's much more interested in her food. Alison, the wife of park owner Jim Cronin, has decided to draw on her experience as an animal behaviorist and has thought up a new way to interest Banji.
Come on, Banj.
Neither Amy nor Banji has seen a coconut before. Alison wants to see if they can work out how to crack open a coconut. She studied anthropology at Cambridge. Now she and her husband have made Monkey World their home.
Hey, Ben.
And Banji's like a member of the family. Banji's pretending not to notice. But Amy's transfixed. She's bright and loves new puzzles. The question is, can she work this one out? Banji can't hide his curiosity any longer. He finally reckons it must at least be worth picking the coconut up. Amy's cracked it.
Get it. I think you got it.
And Banji's finding his own ingenious method of getting at the milk inside, with a piece of bedding straw. Amy's more interested in the solids, and despite her huge appetite, she hasn't forgotten her manners when it comes to someone who isn't Banji.
Thank you.
Alison is impressed. Using tools to crack a problem shows advanced intelligence. And this isn't an isolated example. Banji and Amy have also worked out how to tie knots so they can attach a rope to a climbing frame to make a swing. They've also been seen using a piece of sacking on a forked stick to make an umbrella in the rain. It's their thoughtful qualities that impress Alison so much. Some parts of the coconut taste better than others. 100 yards away, in Malagasy, there's a real problem with the ruffed lemurs. One of the lemurs has collapsed and is critically ill. Keepers Jeremy and Tina just have no idea of the cause.
He checked them all this morning and they were fine. Just come up now and Harry's there on the ground, sort of saliva all coming out of his mouth and he's finding it difficult to breathe, and I don't know if he's eaten something or whether he's been bitten. You do get adders up here occasionally, but it's not very well at all. It's gonna have to rush off to the vets and see what happens there. Hopefully they can do something for him.
Poor Tina's already lost one lemur this year. It looks as if she may lose another. This part of Dorset has a lot of heathland where snakes are plentiful. The lemur may have been bitten by an adder.
What do you think is wrong with him?
I'm not really sure. It's unique to anything that I've ever seen before, but he's moaning an awful lot, and which maybe is a good sign. I don't know, but he's got a lot of saliva coming from his mouth, and he's got a lot of muck shooting out his back end as well. He's obviously in a fair bit of pain, abdominal pain, so poor Mike. He's going to have a difficult case here.
Alison's got the lemur to the local veterinary surgery where urgent cases like this can get immediate attention.
Steady.
She's expecting you.
Vet Mike Nathan has been told of the emergency and is prepared for a possible operation.
Has she been seen?
All the others were up on the fencing. She was down below.
When the
on a
vets
hutch
examine the
on
lemur,
ground.
they think it may be a female rather than a male. It isn't easy to tell.
You can see the mucus is. She's thrown up a bit. Hi, sweetheart. Here you go. Here you go.
Mike checks the lemur's eyes. They're dilated. That means she's lost a lot of fluid, so they have to act quickly.
Is that what she's been passing?
I couldn't honestly say. She's had slime.
What colour did she vomit?
It's been clear liquid coming
Because this
out.
is carrot coming out here. by the
Yeah.
look of it. So
I don't know whether she passed any or whether this is because
what's
she's been in the box.
What, yeah.
It's because she's been rolling around in the box, but that looks like it came from her
That's a
bedside.
good hand. Because that's another well. We'll see if we can get a drip on her.
They're going to put the lemur under anaesthetic so they can put a drip in. Dehydration can kill a lemur in just a few hours. Time is running out.
It's okay, sweetie. Just take it. It's okay. It's okay. Hold on. It's okay.
Back at Monkey World, Charlie has recovered enough from his operation to take his first bit of solid food. As a special treat, he's getting chocolate fingers from his closest companion in the park.
This is yours. I won't steal it off you. No, we are sharing this one.
He's being looked after by his best friend, Jeremy Keeling.
Okay. Got a big hole in his mouth.
Now that the anaesthetic has worn off, Charlie is getting pain from his operation.
I can't help the slice. I can make this go back on a bit better.
With his good hand, Charlie's starting to peel off the bandage. Jeremy wonders how he's going to make sure it stays on.
No. Stop it. Stop it.
Charlie's going to need Jeremy with him for some time to come.
Down fall.
Outside, in Charlie's old group, terror reigns. Powerful Paddy keeps flying into fits of rage. He's intimidating the entire group. To help calm things down, the chimps have been given some coconuts. It's interesting to see how differently they handled them. There's none of the patience that the orangutans showed, not quite the same lateral powers of thinking. The youngsters are especially impatient. The adult female's approach shows a little more promise. Next door, in the enclosure for the bachelor chimpanzees, Chief Butch is going through his paces. Jimmy is introduced into the bachelor's enclosure for the first time. It's a scary moment for Jimmy, like being the new boy in a fifth form classroom. The first thing Leader Butch does is to show Jimmy that he's the one in charge. Butch has a reputation as a bully. He used to beat up the females in another group and had to be removed from it. Poor young Jimmy at the back is in for a rough ride with this mob. Even the chimps up on the frame seem to have a point to make. Jimmy is hoping to get away from the trouble by going up an unoccupied pole, but life's not going to be any easier upstairs. Butch has got it in for Jimmy, and any respite from this show-off will be short. It doesn't matter how invisible Jimmy pretends to be, Butch has got his number. There's only one chimp in the group that Jimmy can beg any sort of comfort from. Back in the surgery, the lemur's still in a bad way, but stabilising.
Shock because his circulation is so poor, and some antibiotics and something for the discomfort. His heart rate is nice and stable. Scissors, thank you. And I've got to bandage all his feet because as soon as he comes round, he will use his hands to pull the drip out.
So, Mike, what do you think it is?
Acute gastroenteritis of some sort. It may be something in the Malagasy pen that is toxic to him. It may just be a bacterial infection. I can't tell. His temperature is completely subnormal. I can't get a blood sample out of him. So I'm just going to have to treat him empirically, what I think is going on, and see how things go.
It seems as if the lemur's problem isn't the result of being bitten by a snake in the park, after all. Even so, the scare has made Alison think carefully about the consequences if local snakes, like adders, do invade the animals' enclosures. She's secretly planting a rubber snake in the nursery chimp's enclosure. She wants to see how the young chimps will react. Simon, the oldest of the babies, is first out into the enclosure. It's not long before he notices that something's different. Chimpanzees, like humans, rely mainly on sight. They build up an intimate mental plan of their surroundings, in colour, and any change is picked up on immediately. Simon just can't believe his eyes. The alarm call immediately alerts babysitter Sally. By now, everyone's aware of the snake, and they recognize it as something that's potentially dangerous. Sally has stamped the alarm. Now she goes up to get another view. Alison is intrigued. This encounter may prove something new. The babies hope that Sally will sort the problem out. Snakes are one of the greatest natural threats to chimpanzees in the wild. Even though these chimps only lived in Africa for a short time before being smuggled out, they probably learnt from their mothers that snakes can be dangerous. They'll go so close, but no further. Sally is particularly intelligent and knows exactly what the stick is for. Her experience all those years ago in Africa meant that she wouldn't dare touch the snake with bare hands. She wants a reaction to see if the snake's alive. Everyone's confused. Either the snake's dead or it's playing dead. These youngsters are bolder. They don't seem to know any better. Sally still stays back. The game seems to be up, but the experiment has given Alison some valuable insight into natural chimp behaviour.
Nobody's actually touched it other than, I think, Bob, and perhaps, I mean, this sort of proves the argument, I don't know, nature versus nurture. All of the animals that had been smuggled out of Africa, Sally and the Israeli babies, stayed right back and aren't going to get near it really, and still not going to fuss with it, whereas baby Bob, who has been hand-reared by humans, who was born at Windsor Safari Park, was the first one, and really the only one other than Tico, to walk up and actually touch it.
The ruffed lemur is still in intensive care, being tended by Mike the vet. But it looks like he'll pull through.
How's he getting on? He's much better than he was. We've not had any further diarrhea. The mucus has stopped. And he's actually been, well, sitting up and moving around. Don't you go too far. We've not had any more vomiting. We've not had any more pain. So we've made some improvements. We'll keep the drip on him and see how he does.
They reckon that the most likely cause of the lemur's illness is that it's eaten a poisonous plant. Jim's taking no chances and has brought in a botanist from Dorchester Agricultural College to try to find the offending plant in the new enclosure. Everyone's puzzled.
Let's get this sorted out, okay? I've never seen any animal that actually liked fungus.
They think that the lemur probably ate a poisonous foxglove that was sprouting. One leaf is enough.
We've been checking the whole enclosure for what Harry may have eaten. It's upset his stomach. Just basically we've had everybody up here going over the whole enclosure trying to find what it is. But as yet we can't find anything that may have harmed him.
It says animals sometimes develop a craving for the plant. So it may well be that although they ignore it most of the time, for some reason it just decides to have it. I mean, it rarely kills them because the vomiting sort of stops them eating anymore.
In the bachelor group, poor Jimmy is desperately lonely. He's being mercilessly picked on and hasn't fought back once. He just doesn't seem the violent type, and things aren't helped by the fact that from his vantage point, he can see over to his old friends in Paddy's group. But things aren't as sweet there as they seem either. The young ones are getting on Big Paddy's nerves. They just aren't showing him what he considers to be respect. Cheeky Gambo's going to get what's coming to him. Paddy's making sure of that. The excitement has reached the ears of everyone in the bachelor group next door, who see Paddy asserting every last inch of his dominance. Jimmy looks shell-shocked. He's been blamed for Charlie losing his finger. It now seems that Paddy is the violent one. But can Jimmy go back into Paddy's group? One thing is certain, Charlie has come off worst in all this, and the question is what to do with him.